If you are not in radiant butterfly energy, aka you're in your little cocoon, you're literally shielding yourself from the soulmate clients and the income that you're destined for. And these are really sneaky ways that we could be in the cocoon, or there's very sneaky ways that you can be in the cocoon and not even realize it. And this is exactly what is preventing you from moving forward in your soul-led business, which you know is your freaking destiny. So you're listening to this podcast because you're like, yo, I know I'm supposed to be making my full income, serving people at my highest capacity, etc. So let's get into the ways that the cocoon could be holding you back. By the way, if you relate to these, I'm opening up 5 spots in the butterfly effect. And this is going to be the perfect space for you to open your cocoon into that expansive butterfly energy and scale to 10K months on repeat, that is. So that being said, the cocoon, I want you to think of, when a butterfly is in a cocoon, you can't see its beautiful wings. You know, these, when butterflies are in their cocoon, think of it in the wild. They're hidden, it's obviously strategically, they're protected so that the butterfly can emerge from it. And so this is beautiful, but when you're in cocoon, you're in survival energy. And when you're in survival energy, you're not in thrival energy. And in order to attract in soulmate clients, it is absolutely necessary to work through this. And this is why the soul business journey is challenging because you're literally working through your survival energy. So that being said, let's get into the symptoms that you're in the cocoon. And first cocoon symptom, and this is one of the biggest ones, is outsourcing your power. This could be that you look at the moon cycles and you try to predict, okay, well, is my business going to take off now? Or you might even blame the moon cycles. You might blame astrology. You might be like, oh, well, this is why things aren't happening the way they are supposed to. This is outsourcing your power. I truly believe that no matter where the cycles are in astrology, you can thrive in all seasons. It's just about what you make of it. And in fact, the tougher seasons, like for example, we're entering an eclipse season right now, this is literally your catalyst. So there's actually something I recently learned about in astrology where it's 7 years of intensity. I forget what it's called. And these are also the 7 years that are known to be the most successful in people's lives as well. Intense astrology means that you're up leveling and you can turn it into success. In the metamorphosis formula, this is rocket fuel. So that being said, if you're outsourcing and you're blaming the moon, you're blaming things, you're blaming other people, you're blaming people not moving, it's okay to be frustrated about these things, but if you're blaming these things, you're in cocoon energy. Another one here is fear of visibility online. If you are if you are feeling drawn to socials and a part of you knows that you're meant to be on socials in your business and you're like, "Oh, well, I don't think I need to," and you know, I feel really uncomfortable being online, so I'm going to avoid it. That is cocoon energy. I do think there's people who thrive with offline businesses. If you're listening to this right now, your intuition is telling you to be online. So let's just be real. If your soul is driving you to my page, it is because you are meant to be online. So if you're avoiding this, that's cocoon energy. And I just want to say, like, I relate to this. I was someone who was very nervous to get online. I moved anyway, though. I'm someone who got online very quickly. But that being said, avoiding this is the cocoon energy. Running through the fire, even if you're kind of in cocoon energy as you move through it, that is expansive energy. Money loves visibility and you must be visible. Even if you're not on social media, you have to find other ways to get visible in order to attract in the right clients because they need to see you. If they cannot see you, and this doesn't mean just being seen online, it means being seen for the full you. I have a ton of updates going on my socials, which some of you may have noticed. And this is how you can get more and more an expansive butterfly energy over time. Another really good way to do this is a story time that causes you to transmute something through sharing it online. You guys may notice that I shared a story about using family money in order to build my business, and that was something that was a huge transmutation for me. Another example of being in the cocoon is loathing sales, loathing marketing, blaming it, avoiding it, running from it, calling it this bad thing. That is cocoon energy because you're running away from what you're being asked to move into, to move people into your spaces. This is part of the process of attracting soulmate clients. It is just part of running a business. And if you try to blame it on the ways that these things have been turned into a kind of disconnected thing in the old paradigm, you're just you doing your business, no matter what type of clients you work with. You could be working with health, love, just anything other than money and business. You running away from these things and blaming them, loathing them, and not looking at them from this new lens, that's cocoon energy. Because you're protecting yourself. You know, you have to be vulnerable and visible and real to do these things well. And so blaming old paradigm ways of doing these things for why you're not acknowledging them in your business now, that's cocoon energy. And trust me, I was someone who was terrified of the fact that I had to do sales, and now I fucking love it. So just that being said, you get to shift these things. You get to make these fun. You get to make these your own. And another piece here is strategy and structure. For those of you who've worked in corporate, it's very, very likely impossible that the thought of strategy and structure absolutely just rocks your body. You may feel that in your body as I'm talking about it. But if you're running away from structure and running away from doing kind of businessy tasks and saying that you don't need to do them, yet your business isn't moving and you're getting nudges to do them, that's cocoon energy. You're protecting yourself. And I so feel you in this too. That was something I really ran from. You know, I know you're a magical little energetic being, but actually, when you start to realize that structure has its own energy, that with combined with more feminine energetics, it's so powerful in opening up your business. That's the energy of making the matrix your freaking bitch and moving from there. So that being said, this particular piece is a huge one with cocoon energy. It's a very sneaky one as well. Another symptom that you're in cocoon energy is making yourself smaller. And this has to do with your decision making. Maybe you're making decisions to, super downsize things, or you're making decisions to play small. So an example of this could be you're apartment hunting, you've been making money in your business, and instead of going for the aligned apartment you feel drawn to, you're going for the apartment that makes you feel safer money wise. This is actually a huge cocoon piece that's going to screw you over in the long end because your home energetics are so vital in solar business. I moved into an expanded house in the fall that was very, to say the least, let's say expansive. It completely up-leveled me. It's still up-leveling me behind the scenes. I'm literally sitting on my couch in this house. And I wanted to find a place that was less rent. I found myself trying to find ways to downsize expenses when I had been making more and more money in my business because this was a safety piece. And instead, I chose the expanded piece, and that has also expanded my income. And so when you make these expansive decisions, instead of, if you find yourself listening to your ego and I'm not sure, we want to play smart. We don't want to be reckless, but we want to play expansive, and that's expansive butterfly energy. And since then, I've seen so much alignment start to come in. People booking calls almost instantly after seeing my content. All these pieces that I don't believe would happen because I didn't have the space in a more limiting apartment. Another sign of being in cocoon energy is, we already talked about blaming outside sources, but just outsourcing your power to the online space. It is so easy to get really drawn in, and this is something it's important to pay attention to because it's good to be moved by people's content. That's the point of them writing the content. But if you're finding yourself changing your mind all the time because you're online and reading all this content, it's time to take a little bit of a detox. And I know if you're posting online, obviously that's not easy. So I feel you in this. But if you're finding yourself, you know, completely just letting yourself be overrun and moved by everyone's content online, or, oh, she's doing this, I should do this, the actual key to solid business success and the expansive energy is finding what works for you and really honing in on that. And I know as you're getting started, this can be really hard to figure out, but you just have to, this is where the intuitive strategy structure and the butterfly effect comes in. And it's really important to really tap in with your soulmate audience, the version of you that's guiding you. And that's what's going to help you draw in the right people. So that being said, cocoon energy cannot be had in a six-figure soul-led business. It doesn't mean that you won't have moments of cocoon, and sometimes you need this moment. I almost think of it as, the butterfly needs to expand somehow. The cocoon is important in a lot of ways, but you've already been in the cocoon, and breaking out of it involves honestly ripping the freaking band-aid. Breaking the cocoon involves running through the fire. It involves feeling the fear around being visible on social media and doing it anyway. Posting, that's usually one of the first things when I'm talking to people who are scared of social media. I'm like, well, go post right now. We got to break through that cocoon. Running through the fire and opening your butterfly wings is what's going to expand you and start calling in soul level clients. So if you've been feeling a lot of these symptoms of the cocoon energy, it is time to break out, and doing so is vital to your success in your solo business. And I know you're someone who is destined for this, which means it's time to run at the fire. In the Butterfly Effect, which is my 6-month group program, and this is my signature program, this is where you're going to break out of this cocoon, really learn the skills, and hone in with your soulmate client energy, your blossoming business self energy, and your blueprint energy, which is essentially your unique vision, your unique roadmap. This is what's going to help you know how to make the moves you need to make, because you're going to have the proper guidance system that's going to help you cut through all the fluff. I've seen people come into this group, tap into these energies, and within literally a month, they attract one-on-one clients. I've had people change their messaging just slightly from these instances, and within days, they had people jump into their DMs. I've also had people within this group recently go to 5-figure months. They've had 4-figure painful clients. And someone recently who graduated from the Butterfly Effect had a $21,000 month. So this stuff is really powerful, because when you tap in with your really, really unique blueprint, soulmate client, etc., this is what's going to help you navigate the online space, navigate the highs, the lows, all the things, because that's what's going to lead you to where you need to go, to the income, to the clients you're going to serve. So that being said, I'm opening 5 spots and 5 spots only for a period of time. So if you've been feeling the nudges, now is the time to get into this space.